Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. I try to make it my goal every time a new crystal comes out, whether that be a 6-star featured crystal or, a 5-star featured crystal I've kind of stopped doing because it's just not as relevant, and therefore I don't think it's worth people's time, even for a 5-minute video. But 6-star incursion crystals are now in the game, and I have not graded them yet, as I was with my brother this weekend. So it is all about the incursion movement towards 6 stars because, of course, they waited until they announced 7 stars to get 6 stars in the game. And you can see that the description is in the top right of these, so you can follow along with me if you want. Starting with the Evade crystal, and really I just have 3 categories that I talk about this with before I give it a grade. Is it cash, as in feels like it was worth my money, even if these are not technically money? Is it meh? I'm okay with it, but I'm not excited. Or is it trash? And yes, it's simplistic, but it's easier to get through a video faster that way. OG Black Widow, I put her in the meh category. Black Widow Deadly Origin, excited, cash. Moon Knight, meh. Stark Smitey, cash. Hitmonkey, cash. Spider-Gwen, somewhere between meh and cash. For the sake of this crystal, I'm going to say meh, which might anger some people. Spider-Ham, cash. Spider-Man Classic, trash. Tiger, cash. And Elsa Bloodstone, cash. Overall, this is a really, really good start to this batch of crystals. If you look at it, really the only negatives I see are Moon Knight, OG Spidey, and I guess you could make an argument that even Black Widow could be worse, but really, 70% of the crystal is a champion that you shouldn't be mad to land on. And I know the price tag is high at $81,000, but I'm going to give this an A. I think overall for value, it's really good. I almost want to go A+, but I want to give it a little room. Maybe I'll revise the grade at the end, but like a 94%. That's rare. All right, from that to Incinerate Immunity. What a random thing to talk about for Incinerate Immunity. Cosmic Ghost Rider, cash. Regular Ghost Rider. Some people say meh. I still say somewhere between meh and cash. For the sake of this, I'll be objective and say meh, even though I think it's cash, personally. Human Torch, cash. Red Goblin, some of you think he's cash for sure. I think it's somewhere in between. I'll go with the experts and go cash. Colossus, cash. Night Thrasher, again, is kind of stuck in between. Would you be excited about a 6-star Night Thrasher? I'm going to say meh, even though that's going to anger some people. Super Scroll, I'm also going to say is meh. Silver Surfer, minus the prestige, meh. Void, cash, Purgatory, meh. Nothing that's absolute trash in this. And if you need Cosmic Ghost Rider or Human Torch, or even Colossus for that matter, well, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Human Torch, Colossus, and Void I'd put as the clear favorites in this champion. I think it has a higher ceiling but a lower floor than the last one, so I'm going to give it an A-. Really strong crystal, though, still to start off. I'm really liking these so far. 6-star Nullify Crystal. Venom, cash. Longshot, cash. Symbiote Supreme, given the utility more than anything, cash. Mangog, good defender. I'm going to say meh. Some of you might disagree with that. Sorcerer Supreme, cash. Morning Star, somewhere between meh and cash at this point in the game. I'm gonna be objective and say meh. Mojo, cash, I think, as an overall utility. Ebony Coleslaw, meh. Doctor Strange, right now, could be a huge difference. Right now, I put him as trash. And Dormammu, meh. All right, this one doesn't have as high of a ceiling, but it almost has as low of a floor as the last one. I'm going to give it a solid B overall grade. It could be worse, certainly, but also, compared to the Incinerate Immunity Crystal and Evade Crystal, you're going to want to literally evade this one if you don't need the champions. All right, now, let's go to the Poison Crystal. So, Abomination, not the immortal kind. I'm going to say meh for the sake of this. Howard the Suck No More. I'm going to say meh. Archangel, cash. Diablo, cash. King Groot, cash. Black Widow, Clairvoyant, cash. Mysterio, cash. Immortal Abomination, cash. Green Goblin, trash. Dr. Voodoo, cash. This is one of the best crystals we have ever seen. Right up there with the first one. Really, the first 2. I'm going to give this a solid A as well. I'm going to give it another 90. I'm going to give it slightly higher than the first one. I'm going to give it a 95. Green Goblin sucks in this crystal. And that's about it. I mean, even regular Abomination's got his favorites, though I think he's the second worst champion in this. Yeah. So like an 80% chance to get somebody that you should be happy with. If I didn't have Archangel or Black Widow Clairvoyant or Diablo, and my King Groot's not awakened, which kind of makes it tempting, I would be all over this. An Immortal Abomination, like the list goes on Voodoo. I really like that crystal. Poison Crystal for the win. All right, let's go Prowess Crystal now. Bishop Cash, Emma Frost Cash. Jubilee, my man Grass, shout out to Grass, says she is like arguably his favorite mutant champion. She is. I'm going to say, to be objective, meh. I'll get some pushback on that. Magneto, House of X, Cash overall, especially for utility. Professor X, Cash. Gambit, meh. Mr. Sinister, meh. Prox of Midnight, for the sake of these crystals and how much you're spending, I'm going to say trash. Sunspot, Cash. Apocalypse, Cash. Really interesting batch of mutants, right? Mutants in Proxima Midnight. Sounds like a weird novel. I'm going to give this a B+. I think it's got amazing depth, especially when you consider you've got Apocalypse, Bishop, Emma, Professor X, and Sunspot leading the charge. I'm not mad about it. All right, let's go to 6-star Shock Crystal. Let's see if we're shocked to open it. All right, Iron Man Infinity War. Cash Defender, meh overall, but he's going to get a buff, right? Let's be objective right now, though, and say meh. Strife, Cash. Warlock, Cash. Star-Lord, meh. OG Storm, Cash now. Thor Ragnarok, somewhere between Cash and meh. I'm going to say objectively meh. Wasp. I go back and forth with her. I love her, but she's such a glass cannon. I'm going to go meh for this crystal. Psycho Man, meh. Sentinel, I'll still say it's Cash. Storm P90X, Cash. I actually like this one the least. I'd give this a B-. I think they're still all better than average. But there's definitely a bottom tier of this one that doesn't exist in most of the others. Overall, though, really happy with this selection of crystals. If you need these champions, like, go to the Poison Crystal. To have a 10% drop rate, which is the best drop rate you will see in the modern version of this game to get a targeted champion. 10%. Archangel, Diablo, King Groot, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, Mysterio, Immortal Abomination, and even Voodoo in the same crystal? That's absurd. That breaks my brain. And I don't even need most of these champions because it's the first world problem that I already have them or have them awakened. And yet I'm still really excited about this crystal for those of you who need it. So, some amazing new crystals. Kabam did a good job overall. The only slight criticism I have is that I wish there were some newer champions in some of these. It still feels like these crystals are geared towards champions who've been around for at least a couple years and older. It makes sense, but it's nice to have a mixture of both, kind of like the new featured crystals. Anyhow, there are your grades for today. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. And as always, thanks for supporting my Marvel Contest of Champions YouTube channel.